Hello, all you crazy ass drywallers out there in drywall land. Welcome to an honest episode of the Drywall Podcast. I am your host once again, Nick Harmon. With us today, we have Chris Gosselin of CG Drywall and Paints out of Haileybury, Ontario. Chris and I first met at the Fresco Harmony training at CSR in Barrie, Ontario, and we dive into his beginnings working for a company that not only painted but also taught him some vital Venetian plaster techniques. He had a short stint in social work that didn't quite pan out, but don't think for a second that he's not a good guy. We talk about Fresco Harmony, of course, and why he's been jazzed about the product, but we also break down his amazing finishing style.
You got to prime your drywall work, man. You just have to.
All right.
And then after that, I run my Mirka and I power sand all the primer down, and then I grab a
wow. You sand after. You sand your primer coat after.
With like a 240. So I knock down the primer because a lot of times I'll spray and back roll my primer and that. So, or depending on the situation, it'll be a brush and a roller too. But I always burn. What the term is, burn down your paint, and then you do your.
That's back rolling, is when you burn down the paint. So you're spraying out like a wall, and then you're taking a roller and rolling it.
Yeah, back rolling it. But what I mean by burning down after the primer's dry is when I'm using my Mirka, I'm taking down the primer with the 240 grit, and then I wipe it down with a microfiber, and then
your walls probably look amazing. I can tell that Chris is an absolute professional at what he does, and I'm so glad that we got to have this interview. We discuss his experience working with that rascal called Jamie and his true reaction to the Mud Skip product. We have a great conversation, and I hope that you learn some things from this episode. This episode of the Drywall Podcast is brought to you by AMES Tools, the company that pioneered the automatic taping and finishing tools all the way back in 1939. Today, AMES is still leading the industry, and not just with their tools, but with their rental program. Built for real job site demands. Whether you're running a crew or just getting started, AMES gives you access to the fastest and most reliable tools in the trade without the upfront cost of buying. You get factory fresh tools every time, fully calibrated and ready to go. Break something? No problem. Just swap it out at your nearest local AMES store and get back to work. Their reasonable daily rates mean no idle tools eating into your budget, no maintenance or repair costs, and no tying up your money with gear that's sitting in the van. It's financial freedom with zero downtime. Would you like to know more? Visit shopamestools.com or stop by your nearest AMES location to learn more. But for now, Chris Gosselin out of Haileybury, Ontario, on the 139th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it.
There he is. Hey, bud.
What's going on, sir?
Not a whole lot. Just enjoying my time off right now until I head back up north. I'm in Gravenhurst at my sister's by Barrie.
Okay.
Yeah, so get an angle here. I'm on my phone.
I like that angle. Looks like you're on the job site.
It's an unfinished business basement there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
At my sister's place.
Some quiet time. Get a little quiet time downstairs.
Yeah, kids are gone to grandma's for 2 weeks, so I'm kidless and Yeah.
Yeah, you got a couple
Good time.
kiddos.
Yeah. So my oldest lives with grandma. He's 16.
Okay.
And my two youngest, Seth is 15. And Derek, my youngest, is 14. So it's all three boys.
That is a
Mhm.
full load. Are they busy with activities and stuff?
Friends, gaming, hanging out, being teenagers,
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Rapscallions.
yeah, exactly.
Well, we have Chris Gosselin out of Haleybury, Ontario.
Yeah, that's correct.
CG drywall and paints.
Yeah.
It's CG drywall and paint or paints.
Paints. I just put an S on it just because it was easy for the license and that's the name that
Ah,
cleared for it. So
okay. All right.
because you gotta do like a search and see if there's another company, and
Oh,
there was, so then I just put an S on it and then it cleared. So yeah,
okay. There's
yeah,
another CG. There's another CG drywall and paint out there.
yeah.
Shout
Apparently,
out to those guys. Shout out to those guys doing it.
yeah.
Very
But
cool. Welcome to the Drywall Podcast, sir.
thank you for having me on.
Yeah, yeah. I've known you for a little while. How far do we go back? When was the first time that
Uh,
we met?
I was the Fresco event in Barrie, actually.
Was it? It was that one.
Yeah, it was that one, and then we saw each other in the November. That's the last time we saw at the Black Friday.
You were at the
That was
Black
uh,
Friday.
that was a big event. Like
Yep.
I left at I think like 6:30 or whatever it was, and like because it's like 6 hours or so drive from like Hellebury to Toronto.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
got there at noon and like just like came in, and then yeah, it was a fun event, and that's where I met Jamie from called Jamie Painting and Drywall for the
He'll get
last
his
week.
hooks. He gets his hooks into you.
And yeah, and I was there in June too with him, and been having lots of fun, and
Yeah.
seeing how he does things, and popcorn removal, and that it was fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So if you don't know, we're talking about the Black Friday event at the Vaughan CSR location in
Yeah,
Ontario. There was a pretty cool. So they do like a customer appreciation where they have
yeah,
a bunch of vendors, they have food. You can go in and check out the store. A bunch of deals on products, and you get to meet a bunch of people. So you made the pilgrimage. It's
yeah.
6 hours. That's pretty good. Did you drive back the same day?
Yeah, I did actually because I had to work. Was that on a Friday, that event?
That's rowdy, dude. That's a 12-hour turnaround. You drove 6 hours, you hung out until 6, you drove home, got home at
Yeah,
12 or 1, and then you went to work the next day?
yeah,
You're a beast, dude.
yeah. I was where was I? I think Kirkland or something. Lake, which is like 45 minutes from me, north of me, and that. And oh yeah, that's right. It was I was embedding the that fuse job, 3 foot sheets of fuse to resurface from textured ceilings, right? Because they're all cracked. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, that was an issue
Okay.
Saturday. And
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah. Did you pick up some of that 3 foot fiber fuse from CSR?
yeah, I did actually.
Yeah. I've used that stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it's great product, and
Yeah.
it's great for resurfacing. And
Yeah. It
like
must
even
have
like
been like a plaster cracking like type of scenario.
yeah, like it was kind of like a skip trowel kind of texture, and
Okay.
like the house it just, I guess, from shifting and poor putting bad board up and stuff like that, and railroading the drywall.
Okay.
And so I just refused the whole thing and coated it, and it was brand new after that, and retaped all
Yeah.
the inside angles and all that stuff. And Yeah.
Well, if Jamie's had you back, you're probably a pretty good hand. That how many rolls did that take? Is that a full ceiling? How much square footage do you get out of one of those 3 foot rolls?
It was that job was like a roll and a half. So I
Yeah.
think I had like about 2,200 square feet of ceiling to do
All
on
right.
that. So yeah,
All right.
I
And
think it's like 300 square meters.
you were just skimming it out, and then did you apply a retexture and paint, or
So I level fived it after and painted the ceilings.
okay, did you offer them Fresco Harmony?
Yes, they were interested in it, and I think they're going to be doing a bunch of rentals in the fall, and they said they'd call me back. So yeah, and
Uh,
it started to
no, on that
people are starting to
ceiling.
catch
I
on.
mean, you could have
Oh,
like
the
float.
fresco? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
did
could.
suggest that actually, and
They were like,
they didn't
nah.
want that.
All
Yeah,
right,
we
fair
want
enough.
whites and we
Yeah,
want flat ceilings and stuff. But yeah, no,
yeah.
I've been really trying to push fresco, and I've been getting a bit more traction on it. It's and that too, so which
It's a
is good.
slog, man. I mean, I think my first year so long ago, I think I did like a couple projects. It's tough
Yeah,
to like wrap your brain around, go from drywall to like selling. You're kind
yeah,
of selling a specialty product, for your
yeah,
wall. People, it's their house.
yeah,
So paint's comfortable. Like I get that. So it's a tricky sell.
yeah. Yeah, and like I've done a couple back home, and like people are starting to ask me for it, and
Yeah.
more like fall time and like winter time kind of thing. And um, I'm gonna be probably doing. Actually, no, I am gonna be doing one at my sister's upstairs. She has like a fireplace
There you
and
go.
that with a mantle on it, and I'm gonna do with the sand and Martinez Storm. So
Oh,
and hot
nice.
gloss and
Nice.
polish it after. So
I think if you use hashtag Martinez Storm, because I have done a fireplace in Martinez Storm sanded, and
yeah,
it looks smoking. It looks like rich gray micro cement. It's cool.
yeah, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I like the look I'm going for, right? So
Now let me ask you this: did this kind of come from that training in Barrie?
yeah,
Because I do these trainings, I'm like, dude, I flew up here, I wasted my time. So
yeah,
you're here to say, no, Nick, you didn't waste your time. Like I
yeah,
listened. We like
yeah,
as much fun as we were having.
yeah.
You got something out of that and took that knowledge and you have you done sanded before?
Uh, not like in the ones that have 4 or 5 I've done since last year. I haven't used sand, but like this will
Okay.
be like the first one I use
Okay.
sand. And like I'm familiar with like Venetian plasters too, like Vasari and a
Oh,
few other
okay.
ones too.
I didn't know
So
that.
like and like I have training from when I started like in 2003 when I
Okay.
was working out west in Kelowna. And yeah, it was like a taping and painting company that
Oh,
I worked for, and I worked for like 5.5 years. It, I kind of get lost track a little bit
nah,
sometimes,
that's
but yeah,
okay.
I was the guys that I worked under had Venetian training too and stuff, so I learned techniques and burnishing and all
Beautiful.
this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Well,
and
let's
like
hold back. Let's not get too far ahead. Let's
yeah,
take a little stroll into the past with Chris Gosselin, CG drywall and paint. Are you first generation?
yeah, I am actually.
How in the world did you choose this crazy drywall trade? Did you go to college after high school?
Yeah, I did. I actually took social work, and then I did
Okay.
like a year of that, and then I was just like, no, it's not for me. And I decided to just pack my bags, bought a plane ticket. I had buddies that lived out in Kelowna,
Where were you?
and
Where were you at the time? You were there
I was
in
I was in Hellebury, like
okay.
New Liskeard, Ontario, which is now called Temiskaming Shores, and it's
Okay.
3 municipalities that amalgamate it. So
Okay.
and I was there, and I went to North Bay for a year of school for social work or whatever, and I like probably just before like exams, I was like kind of like my final exams. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This is not me. And then that fall, I worked for like the city of Temiskaming Shores, and like they got me as a student, like painting and doing things like that and cutting grass and whatever. And then I bought a plane ticket. I went out to Kelowna. I just kind of fell into the trade.
Okay, well, there's more to it, but like, let's back up a little. Why social work? What was your reasoning behind moving into?
I thought I wanted to, like, I like helping people, but it was just like doing like some of the co-op and that you take it home, and it was just like the heaviness of the job and stuff. You just take it home, and I was just like, yeah, this is not for me, right?
Yeah. So okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But
do you do things today that are sort of outward focused, where with social work type stuff?
If anybody that I know needs a hand, or like is low on food or whatever, like I'll go help them, no problem. Like I'll give my shirt off my back to you, kind of thing.
I like
right?
it. So I like that. Very cool. We're just laying a groundwork for who Chris is. He's a good guy. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Okay, so why did you move to Kelowna?
Yeah, I had some friends out there, and they're like, yeah, if you ever want to come out, come on out. And I was just like, I needed a change. I wanted to experience life. I was 20 years old, right? So
yeah,
like,
good for you.
And I was just like, I worked my butt off all summer, overtime, saved money, bought a plane ticket, packed my bag, and I told my parents, I'm like, see ya. And I was out there for almost 5.5 years or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you got out to Kelowna, and how did you hook up with a drywall crew?
I went to like an employment place, that, and then after that, it just went from there.
So the employment placement company found you a job with a drywall company, or drywall and painting, as it were.
Yeah.
And what was the name of that company?
Yeah, Vasco and Sons, I believe that was the company. I'd have to check my resume, to be honestly, because it's been like 18 years since I've been out there, right? Or 17 years, 15. It's been quite a while.
We're going into the vault, buddy. We're going into the vault. We're going to open it up. Vasco and Sons. So what did they have you doing when you got going over there?
At first, like, they got me just doing like prep stuff and learning how to tape and just basic stuff and like clean up and like being a laborer and putting in my time and all that stuff, and
seeing if you weren't an idiot.
Yeah, and like I'm a hard worker and like believe in consistency. And then after that is just I started to catch on, and then it went from there, and then we started going into developments and all that stuff, like condos. A lot of residential, some commercial.
Were they running the tools at the time? How were those guys finishing? How did you learn? Did you learn to hand finish?
Hand a lot. They did use auto, not a lot. They believed in you learning by hand and that. So like, I ran tools out there maybe a year and a half, and not till really Ontario is when I started diving into the tools, right? Like for the auto end, right? But these guys did painting, and you learned some plastering techniques over there as well. That's cool. Yeah.
So those dudes were doing like a Venetian plaster.
Yeah.
And they use Vasari.
I can't remember the company what it was, but I've done like some training stuff, and I believe it was Vasari in Toronto.
What is that? What's Vasari?
Like Vasari?
Yeah.
Or it's a Italian plaster that company. I forget where they're based out of, but they do like lime washes. Mammarino, I think that's how you pronounce it.
What's the difference between a lime wash And is because I thought Marmarino was like Vasari. You've got
Yeah,
Marmarino
yeah.
product.
That is the product, right? Marmarino is the product, and lime wash is basically you use a brush, and that you can use it as a brush, and then
And
Marmarino is
you're doing like lime. What are you're using a brush, but what are you doing?
like crisscross patterns, and
Yeah, but
it kind of looks like suede.
are you putting like something on the wall with the brush, or are you?
Yeah, it comes in a gallon form, and
I
it's
mean,
kind of like
you gotta explain it like I've never done it.
yeah.
Like,
So
I'm
okay.
curious.
So yeah, it's comes in a paint can, and it's got like
Okay.
sand, and it's like a paint product, but
All right.
like yeah, and you're back brushing it in crisscrosses,
And
and it kind of looks
that's the whole finish. You don't trowel
yeah.
anything?
No, you just yeah, you brush it.
Oh, weird. I didn't
Yeah,
know that. And that's a lime wash.
yeah,
It's paint with sand in it. Lime wash.
basically. Yeah, basically.
God. The more I go down the rabbit hole, the more I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, you know.
Vasari, Marmarina, these fancy names. It's like, oh, you're just
Yeah,
putting.
and
All
it's
right.
just different types of sand and
Okay.
finishes that basically right. So
Yeah, I think, well, Ralph Lauren suede is like, yeah, same thing.
that's kind of the same thing. Like I was actually that just popped in my head. Ralph Lauren cans too, right? So
Right,
it's kind
right.
of the same
Okay.
thing.
But I know Marmarino does make a spreadable application that's like an acrylic. Maybe they
Yeah,
do a plaster as a regular plaster as well. Because then you have like red top. You get all these different types of plaster.
yeah, well, yeah. Like it's endless. Like plaster,
Kind of.
different. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you
kind
know.
of.
But yeah, I did like a course of that a few years ago, and like now it like with Fresco, I can implement all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff into it, you
Yeah,
know, and
Chad does that. Like he'll like takes he does a Portillo. He's done
yeah,
some courses in plaster, and he'll implement a lot of those techniques that he learned into the Fresco Harmony.
yeah, yeah,
You know.
and it's endless. Like metallic paint too, you can throw in, and that like we were discussing this at Fresco and Barry. I'm like, can you use metallic paint? And then Cam was doing it right, and
Yeah.
like, and we tried it in Ottawa, and it it was badass, man. Like
Yeah.
you know it added such like flair to it and like depth to it when you're
Yeah.
adding metallic paint, and it's yeah,
Because it's translucent. So you're adding
yeah,
translucent layers that you could see through it.
yeah,
But yeah, I feel like I'm trying to just simplify this oversold glorified systems that are just kind of like they're too expensive, and it's like, man, you can do all this shit with mud. Why aren't the drywallers just taking the mud and doing the shit with mud? Give me a break.
yeah,
If you want to do Venetian plaster, go spend $100 and $200 on a pail and go do it. Like,
yeah,
but you can do the same shit with mud.
yeah. Like a box of mud is what, $40.
Whatever
Like
it is, it's all
you know what I
expensive
mean?
now, you know? Yeah, it's not getting any
Like
cheaper.
but like for like a gallon pail or 5 gallon pail, whatever like Venetian plaster comes in, it's like $300 to $500 a pail up in
Yeah,
Canada. So like doing this route, and you can add your 60 fine sand into it, like it's still
done,
gonna be
done.
like under $150 with the colorants or whatever. Wait, like you know, so
Well, and you don't, you can control it. There's more control
yeah,
also, you know, and you
yeah,
throw some mud skip in there or, you know, and then all the stuff you can do with the sealer.
yeah,
But you're learning at that time, you're learning mostly this Vasari plaster systems with this
yeah.
company. It's something that they offer. You got to do a couple of jobs, I assume.
Yeah, I did like in when was it? 2022. I did some range hoods with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
like custom range hoods, drywall, like with trim text.
That's all they could afford.
Yeah.
range.
You know what I mean? Like it's like it was expensive. Like
Yeah.
and I was searching for a product at that time, like before I found out about Fresco, and I'm like, there's gotta be a product. I kept telling myself after like 6 months after that, and then I just kind of like stumbled across on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Did
And
you?
then yeah, like
Before the training you had known, but probably heard about it, and then I was coming to CSR or whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was sort of on your radar. When you found out about Fresco, were we selling in Canada yet?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe I think you might have been.
Because I was getting a lot of inquiries and I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't want to deal with shipping up there. It's just too much of a pain and it's hard enough to get this
I,
stuff,
I think I think it was around 2022 when I did those, and
Okay.
then late 2023 I think I found your product like on
Okay.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and
We were
like I saw
just
you and a few others
okay.
and stuff like that, and because I was just searching and searching because I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. Like charging X amount of dollars for like a 40 square feet piece. Like it's just, there's got
Right.
to be something that's more cost efficient, right? And does the same thing, So I was
Yeah.
happy to find it, and yeah, like it's genius. Like
Oh,
it's
thank you.
honestly genius.
It's well, it just occurred to me too. I couldn't believe that there wasn't something out there when I started down the path, and that I thought people would steal it. Like if I told anybody, they'd just steal
Yeah,
it, because it was
yeah,
such a good I thought it was such a good idea
yeah,
that and now it's like I'm trying to like show people and so it's like until you kind of do it, like Jamie, until you do it, you don't really
yeah,
know like what's he doing? Oh, he's just dumping color in mud, and it's like, well, there's a little more to it than that, but
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's easy, yeah, but the color's formulated, so there's that.
yeah,
But
exactly. And like you just got to make sure to get the full color and like how you describe with a clean
yeah,
bucket of water, and make
yeah,
sure you
yeah,
get
get
it
the
all
color out.
out and get that color out
And
and
I
then
still
throw
have
it
the
to.
people that'll use like a little bit of the bottle, and it's like, don't you're not getting the true color if you do that. It's
Yeah,
it's use the whole bottle, get it all out.
yeah,
Make a full batch every time. It seems wasteful,
yeah.
but
It
it's
brings that
not.
depth from the sealer. Like it pulls the color out once you throw that sealer on it when it's fully mixed properly and everything, right? Because then you
Yeah, there's
just
the system, so it's not just the
yeah,
color. There's
yeah,
this application system that's really key too. And Jamie's doing his own thing with it. Did you stick pretty much to the protocol when you did it? Because you were showing Jamie like some burnishing techniques,
yes, yes,
and I
yes.
was
I
like,
was,
oh,
and
that's good. He's going crazy with that burnishing.
yeah, he just like he loves that, like like he loves that smooth, yeah, there's
Yeah,
still texture to it, but it's like not a lot, right? And
right.
like and then I show him the polishing technique, right?
It looks
And just
amazing.
and he's like, bro, bro,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and he's just mind blown by it, and he's like, yeah, yeah, I'm in, like, and like,
He's pretty funny. He's a funny dude. Like, yeah, yeah, like Jamie's like one of those people that you like you don't really want to rub him the wrong way. Just, don't rub Jamie the wrong way. Golly. And I mean we'll fast forward a little bit. You got to work with Jamie. Let's put a pin in that.
yeah,
Let's go back to the story. You learn these techniques, you learn some drywall. You're with Vasco and Sons for 5 years, and then by this time you're like 25. I assume now you're around 38, 39.
I'm 42 actually.
Okay, 42. And
Yeah.
so after the 5 years, where do we go from there? You go back to Haleyberry?
Yeah, I ended up moving back home, and I ended up starting up my own thing, and that company was called Primary Colors. I
Okay.
did that for like 5 years or so, and then after that,
That sounds like a painting.
yeah, and there was so many, like, I was doing small jobs, but for plastering and that, but like I was taking on majority painting stuff then because there was a demand for it. There was nobody that was like an actual like trait for that right there. So I took a advantage of that and marketed that. But yeah, I was doing smaller jobs, just like residential small stuff for plastering. And
Okay.
then after that, I moved to North Bay, and my buddy Gail that I worked with, in one of the jobs in Liskeard and stuff, we met, and then I went to North Bay and I worked under with him and learned a lot of stuff from him and that too, and
So
like
you were doing primarily painting with Primary Colors. That's a great
yeah,
name,
because
by the way. I like that name. That's great.
there was like probably about 3 or 4 guys that were in that, like in my area for like 30, 40 years, right? So they
Okay.
basically everyone called, and then whatever they couldn't do, I got the overflow
Oh,
of the
smart.
smaller stuff and that. So,
Smart.
but yeah, so and then I was doing majority painting then, and then worked my way, and then by the time I got to North Bay, I was boarding and stuff too, and then when I met my buddy Gail,
Do you think
yeah,
that the painting, like, because a lot of drywall people don't have that painting, as much as I bash painting, there's a lot to know about painting. Would you say that that education around painting serves you pretty well? Because now it's like, oh, I can do finishing and painting. I feel like that's a
yeah,
good gig. Like you can finish the
yeah,
house. You don't have some painter bitching at you. You only have yourself to blame.
yeah, like, and a lot of times like I'll get like modular homes, and like I do, and the company pre-boards it when they ship it, and then I
Okay.
come do all the taping and painting, and yeah, it's just it's satisfying painting your own work.
Right, right. And now take me through the painting process because honestly, I'm not really versed. Do you spray? Do you roll? Do you prime first?
It,
Are you doing primarily smooth finish or textured surfaces?
smooth finish
Okay,
actually,
it's
majority.
all smooth up there, right?
Yeah, like every once in a while, like I'll have to break out the Graco texture machine to do a California knockdown.
So you got a room that's level 5. You would you go right into paint or would you prime?
I normally prime all my work first, and that because
Okay.
want to seal it, and then after that,
What
after I'm
happens
done,
if I don't prime? Well, priming, especially on a level 5, is probably key because you're doing a preliminary, like, sort of minuscule skim over the wall with paint, correct? To
yeah,
disguise your butts and bands.
yeah. It probably like your corners would probably turn black,
Okay.
it just like your corners like would literally look not black, but like not how they would look prime, right? It would just you got to
Okay.
prime your drywall work, man. You just
Okay.
have to.
All
And
right.
then after that, I run my Mirka and I power sand all the primer down, and then I grab
Oh,
a micro.
wow.
Yeah,
You sand your primer
yeah,
coat
with
after.
like a 240. So I knock down the primer because
Oh,
a lot of times I'll spray and back roll my primer and that. So, or depending on the situation, it'll be a brush and a roller too. But I
right.
always burn, what the term is, burn down your paint, and
That's
then you do
that
your
That's back rolling is when you burn down the paint. So you're spraying out like a wall and then you're taking a roller and rolling it?
yeah, back rolling it. But what I mean by burning down after the primer's dry is when I'm using my Mirka, I'm taking down the primer like
Okay.
with the 240 grit, and then I wipe it down with a microfiber, and then
Your walls probably look amazing. They
like I'm
do.
very particular.
They do, don't
Like
they? Your walls are tits, aren't they? Pardon
Not bad, I'd say.
Wait, do they use the expression tits up there?
Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, we're speaking
they
the
might
same language.
throw in an A, but
I don't know. Is it PC now to use tits? I don't know. Like, I feel like it's still universal. If something looks tits, it's like perfect.
Yeah. But
and what's worse than comparing something that's perfect to tits?
They're on the same plateau.
They're right here. They're right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, not to get too far off track. So then that's a lot of work. Okay. You're doing like 3 steps just on your primer. This is after you bring a wall to level 5, which is impressive. That you haven't even gotten to the paint yet. And then you get to the paint and you're doing 2 coats, I assume, sprayed out.
Yeah. I'll sometimes, depending on the situation, I'll spray my ceilings out, and then I'll brush and roll my walls and that. But during each process, before finish coat on paint, I'll still burn it down again, because it's just
because you're a freak.
I want people to be able to rub their hand across the wall and not feel any type of a stipple or nothing.
How are you even able to do fresco harmony and leave it kind of bumpy? How are you even? Yours is probably smooth as shit, isn't it?
No.
Do you leave it? Do you leave it uneven?
I make sure I'll do the patterns and and
right.
and then I'll just throw a C
Don't shine a light down it. If you're doing fresco, just leave the light out of there, man. The client doesn't know. It's smooth. It looks smooth. It feels smooth. Just let it go. Move on to the next one.
I make sure there's some texture in it and that. So I just remind myself, because I'm so used to being like that. And
the biggest issues that drywallers have with fresco harmony is the messiness of it, leaving it imperfect. And they'll automatically want to just start really smoothing it out. And that's in our DNA. That's in our natures to make surfaces smooth. So I'm kind of challenging that paradigm of a wall has to be smooth. It either has to be smooth or it has to look like shit. My walls are all textured and ugly. It's why is that okay?
Yeah.
Who said popcorn's okay? Or it has to be perfectly smooth? Why can't it just be kind of smooth?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So the Miraca, and that's a sander, I assume.
Yeah.
And you're doing you would even sand maybe between paint coats, which blows my mind. The level of smoothness that you're getting at that point. Your clients probably love you. You get done with the job. There's no blue tape. You move on to the next one. Yeah.
No, because I do a walkthrough with my clients, and I have a light and I shine it
you're show me something, bitch.
I'm showing them every wall, everything, and they're like, this is awesome,
All right, so I would say that Chris is probably, you're in the top 5%. I've never seen your work, man, but just from what you've described to me just now, you're probably an amazing finisher. When you go up to work with Jamie, how's his stuff? Do you guys do you compare? Are you on the same level, or are you sort of learning from each other when you go work with Jamie or another?
We're actually learning from each other too, right?
Cool. That's cool.
Because his game is a whole different thing too, right? And I might do a couple of those a year, but I just don't do it a lot. And he has a system. And it's just I'm coding too, and I'm moving my butt, and then I'm you're already done? He's good at what he does. And we're learning things. I'm learning things from that end of the drywall world, and then I do a lot of more taping and stuff and that too, and then we're just feeding off each other basically, right?
That's cool. If you're listening and you're considering going to work with somebody, this is the benefit. We get so wrapped into our own methods and our perfection and our sort of anal sensibility, being a drywall finisher, that it's kind of like it's expansive to go and see the way somebody else does it. It's like, that's not necessarily the way I do it. But if you open up a little bit and let somebody, it's like, oh, okay, you're using fiber tape in the corners. I would never do that. Why do you do
No.
that? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then you try it and maybe it still sucks. Maybe it's like, oh wow, I didn't realize that it did that. Okay. If you allow yourself a little crack opening,
Yeah.
maybe there's a reason why all these people are using a bazooka. maybe it's kind of quick. Maybe it's kind of quick. Things like that. I love it. So we went off on a tangent there, but you learned your chops, your painting chops, when you were with Primary Colors back home. And
NBC.
was it you got to start your own business, though? Was that challenging, or did you go into that business thinking, I'm going to soak up work from these overworked painters? That was kind of your plan going in?
No. I was just like, I want like to be my own boss, like kind of thing. And like, and like I knew like I would be basically like married to it, and like a lot of the guys in the area were doing a lot of the taping work and some of the painting work, and like there was still a lot of work going on, and like I would end up doing a lot of smaller stuff and that too, right? But
you weren't really doing predominantly finishing at that time.
I'd say it was more like a 60-40, at that time. And it just because there was a demand for it too. And like I was fast at it.
That's quite a bit though, 40% drywall.
Yeah. And then like till like, I'd say around 2013 or so, that's when I started really diving into that end of the world, because like, and I still painted and everything, but I just wanted more of it. Like I was hungry for it, and that's why I wanted to be my own boss too, and like just set my own schedule, and and I had kids too at like when I moved home. So like, and I moved home, and I met my kid's mom, and that we had the 3 boys and 2, right? And it just made sense being a parent and having 3 kids to do that, right? So
are you still with the mom?
Nope. No. We haven't been for a very long time, but we still see each other with the kids and stuff. And
you seem pretty cool. You guys are cool together.
And like we go have dinners at grandma's, at her mom's and stuff like that with the kids and stuff. And yeah. But no.
How long ago did you separate?
2013, I think it was, or 14.
Okay, a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, but
was that tough on the kiddos and you? Was that a tough time?
Any type of breakup like that, it is. For anybody really.
Yeah. But, fair enough.
And
you seem like you've moved on pretty good.
Yeah. I took me a while there, but you live, you learn, and you grow as a person. And
to quote the great Alanis Morissette, you live, you learn. Threw that in there for
right.
You threw that in there for Jamie. He posted something where she's from his town or something, or close to Alanis Morissette. It's from
Ottawa area. Yeah,
something like
that. He lives in Orleans.
You guys got Rush. You got Rush. You got Bryan Adams. Yeah. You got Alanis Morissette. What else do you need?
Oh, there's Triumph, Foreigner.
Shut up, dude. Foreigners from Canada? Fuck.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they are foreigner. Maybe I might be wrong, but I know Triumph. I'm pretty sure they're Canadian.
Lay it on the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
David Wilcox.
Okay.
There's tons of great Canadian artists.
The list goes on. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Myers. I mean, he's from Canada. Yeah. Yeah. You got some good ones.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we digress. So CG Drywall, how did that come to be?
So I've worked in North Bay for under a bunch of different people and stuff like that. And my one buddy Alex, like Gail that I mentioned, taught me a lot of stuff too, and just progressed me, and just he pushed me, and like I just got better and better and so forth, and that. But I then got into the steel framing there and that too, and boarding awesome. More. And like I rather hang my own board when I'm drywalling too, right? Because it's on me.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
And then I think, what was it? Yeah, I was in North Bay till 21, and then I decided to move home, and I was just running into people, and they're like, "Hey, man, like, are you still like doing the drywall and painting thing?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then, they're like, "Man, like, come see me." And then I got some contracts, and then I started CG Drywall and Paints in 2021. And
let's talk about price a little bit. When you're a badass like you are, and you're doing these insanely smooth like walls with the back rolling and the Mirka sander in between the primer coats and all that shit, you can't be charging like what the low end dudes are charging.
No.
Would you say you're charging a premium?
Pretty much on a square foot. Yeah.
On a square foot. You're busy enough. You have a good enough reputation at this point that you can go in and charge and make your worth.
Yeah, I believe in that, definitely. Like, be charged accordingly and that too. But also, like, if a client asks me to do that stuff, I'll do what they're within their budget, right? Too, right?
Okay. All right. So let's say and if you don't mind, I mean, what I want CG Drywall to come in and give me a bid for level 5 and paint. What kind of square footage are we talking right now in your area, if you don't mind? And people from all over, people that listen from all over, be interested, because I know you guys are getting a pretty decent amount up there compared to Albuquerque, which is shit wage.
Yeah. Like usually like 8 feet to finish is like Ontario. It's like $1 usually to finish on a level 3 and that. And level 5, it like can be up there, like with material and stuff like that, like $4 maybe. I don't know. I have to check my price list, but I'm just kind of going off the top of my head, right? And like painting too, like it's like I charge floor space, so
they do down here too. I don't think drywallers realize that, they're like, that painter's getting $1.50 a square foot, and it's like, well, he's charging for the floor space. It's 2,000 square feet house, and and
like
$3,500 It's like,
like prices could range anywhere from $3 to $7 a square foot in Ontario.
And don't get me wrong. Right? Don't get me wrong. Painters make too much money. That's why I'm like, kudos, dude. Like, you get that painting nut in there. That'll cushion the blow a little bit, right?
Yeah,
you're making a better margin off the painting, aren't you, than the drywall?
It kind of like balances itself out.
Okay. Because some jobs are a pain in the ass to paint.
Yeah, and some are easy to board and tape, and that too. And, but like it depends on what I'm doing. Like modular homes, they have all the cabinetry installed, so like
that's a bitch. Yeah,
and like you got like, let's say a cabinet's like from the bottom of the ceiling, like has an opening, and you gotta like, like, and you're hitting your elbow and you're cursing and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's some jobs are easier than others, and it depends on who the general is, I guess, or who's framing it.
Yeah,
like is it framing on point? Like
All right, very
like
cool.
it's like I can go in and do board or tape or paint or frame. You know what I mean? Like it's like multiversify.
And is it just you?
Yeah, mostly. And like when I do need help, like I do have buddies that have other companies in the area. Like, hey man, like I need to sub a bit of work to you. Can you come give me a hand for a few days so that we can just meet the deadline and stuff? Yeah, like I don't have no problem doing that. Calling other companies in.
You haven't brought on any employees?
No, like I did have one like 2 years ago, or a year ago, I think it was for almost like 6 months because I had such an overload of work that I couldn't keep up, right? So, and like I would had to work myself to death, and like you probably see me on my stories sometimes, like I'm kayaking or fishing or that kind of stuff. But like it's.
Well, it's smart. You have to. What the hell are we doing this for? You have to spend time with your boys, and go enjoy life from time to time. I mean, you'll see on my personal page. Yeah, I like to go hiking. I like to go travel.
Yeah.
I like to spend time with my son. It's really key. I don't want to be, I need to work tomorrow, but he wants to go golfing.
Yeah.
I haven't golfed in a while. He's all into golfing now. He's like 9. We'll go whack the ball around. Why not?
Yeah.
You guys went golf. You guys went golf. Are you a golfer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely an avid golfer.
Yeah. I'm not avid. I'm definitely a hack, but I like to golf. It just takes so much damn time. I'm like,
yeah. We, in June, we went, to an executive course. It was a par 3, right? And majority of and there was a few like par 4 and one par 5, I think, but like I like the course that I grew up on and played all the time is like a par 4, par 5 rating. So majority of the holes are like 300-400 yards. So I drive and and like the one hole we figured it out. It was like 310 yards. So like
yeah.
And it was, we went golfing last week and what the heck was it? Irish Hills. That was a nice course in Ottawa.
You golf like once a week, would you say you golf?
Pretty much twice, sometimes 3, if I can get it in.
All right, you love it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
my clubs are with me all the time.
Oh, okay. You're better than Jamie then. Easily.
He's pretty good.
Is he?
Yeah, for me to
you guys would kick my ass.
I'd have some of the courses he brought me to. I would have to play them 2 or 3 times to actually get used to them because the greens are either usually fast or slow, or they're a combination of both. So it's just you kind of got to learn the hole a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And that I just played one called Muskoka Hills, and it's a wee bit of Scottish, and it's set up like a Scottish course, and I shot an 83.
All right, I haven't golfed in like a year. I want to, and then I'm like, but when I go, I love it, man. I do love to get out there, and it's a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, I know. It was just, and it was cool because the cart, it had a digital screen and I could keep my scorecard. I didn't need a score to write it down.
Perfect.
I could just punch it in and
beautiful.
And it had a map and it showed
Jamie, he's a high roller. He likes those premium golf courses, man.
And and this was at the Muskoka one that I was at yesterday, and I've never I've always golfed like the traditional golf cart. Got to write it down on the scorecard and stuff like that. And like it was fun. Like I got paired up with two other guys, and we played the 18. And I've never met them in my life. And
Cool.
and they're like they were playing best ball, and I was just doing my own thing, and it was fun. Like
Cool.
Yeah.
So would you say that you create the time to go up and work with Jamie? Was this something that you guys collaborated on?
Yeah, ever since we met each other in November at the Black Friday event, he's like, "Hey man, we got to come down, do a collab and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, probably like when like kids are out of school or like getting close to being done, because usually the last week of school for like kids that are in grade 9 and 8, 9 and stuff like that, it's like fun week for them, right? So and it's optional if to go. So I was able to go down in June and collab with them, and got to try the mud skip and and the conditioner.
And you're not saying that just because like Jamie's on board with the mud skip. What's your your personal you hadn't used it prior to that experience?
No. Yeah, and like for that, like for what he does and a couple other applications too, I think it would be like bang on a great product to use, right? So
you're inclined to having maybe a bucket of mud skip in your arsenal.
Yeah, like for like sometimes you get like when you put bead on and like the framing's not great and you gotta flare it out and you need to do like 2 coats in a day. Like you can do that with fast
that's a good point. No,
you know, like
shitty butt joints.
Yeah, or that too, or like some guys just don't like sheetrock 90 or 45, so this would be a good option for them too, right? So
it takes a while to mix up. I find that when I mix quickset, I don't do it in the pan because it takes forever. You know, you're mixing, or you got to pull out a drill and use your kitchen tool or whatever. Yeah. It takes a while. I'll always like mix like the bottom of the bucket. I throw that shit in a bucket and I spin up more than enough. Then I'm wasting, wasting mud. It still takes a long time to mix up a small batch of quickset. Like, don't kid me. I can mix up quickset. I know how long it takes, and it takes time. You got to stop. You got to go to the mixing area. You pour in the powder. It's too heavy. Pour in the water. Pour in the powder. Pour in the water, and then you make your quickset, and 30 minutes is gone, and you got one coat on. Where mud skip, I got a bucket in the car. It's got the heavy duty or whatever they call it. It's got the heavy duty.
The heavy version or the
go take it. Version, right? Go take a scoop. Do a coat. Wait 20 minutes. I don't know, because my experience is it's still kind of wet. Like if I'm going over a painted texture with the heavy, it's still too wet to do another coat over. But I'm leaving a heavier coat. I'm not pulling a super tight skin.
Yeah, in different applications, obviously it's going to react different in dry time and that. And like we had a shit ton of fans too. Like there was like 8 fans throughout the whole house or something like that too. So that helps with airflow too, right? And depending on the thickness too, like obviously if it's 8-inch thick or something like that, and you have fans on it. And I've seen it, and we recoated it, and it didn't pull. Like and I shined the light after.
Maybe it changes the chemical makeup of the mud in such a way that, like, okay, I got a lap line. It's been 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes, but I can coat over that, and it's not gonna pull.
Yeah, and I witnessed it. It did not pull. Like we had and a dehue going and all that stuff too,
and it cracks. I mean, mud will do weird shit. But like I'm familiar with mud. I've been working with it all my life. Intimately with the color and everything.
Exactly.
Would you say there's a distinctive difference between like the heavy and then the smooth and then the conditioner? Like, do you prefer one to the other? Because I'm like, why? Is the conditioner doing something different than the heavy? I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. I have the same questions that everybody else has.
I like, and we did a final coat and we put conditioner in. Excuse me. And there were some lap lines and stuff like that. And we came back, they were gone.
Okay.
It did piss, like just pissate. Yeah, I can't say that word, but it like literally like self levels it, and like there was like barely any sanding, in that for that type of application.
And then you're doing a brush over the top. Can you? But
yeah,
do you have to wait till?
Do
you have to wait till it's dry to sand?
Yeah, we waited till the next day to actually, But like for coating, like like it depending. Like on the popcorn at the time, like and a lot of them that we've been doing, it's been like a light popcorn. So the Festool's been basically taking that off and we're coating, and I've seen it within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I was touching it and it was hard. And I'm like, all right, let's start coating again. And it didn't pull.
It's not cured. It's just dry.
No, it's dry to be able to coat it, but we came back the next day to sand and prime, and
fine.
Yeah.
So you did. So you'd use the sander. You'd sand down the popcorn, and then 2 coats, and then you're ready for primer or paint.
And sand and then primer and paint. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I can see. Yeah, and that's primarily the heavy that you're using.
That was the smooth.
That's the smooth. So is Jamie going heavy, smooth conditioner?
I think he's using smooth because I think, I can't remember, to be honest. The bucket, I'm pretty sure was the smooth. I think it was, and that. But I was just pulling. I'm just from like,
okay, I've got all 3. I'll use the heavy if I'm going over a heavier base coat. I could use a heavy in there, but it kind of doesn't matter because I won't do that second coat until my base coat is dry. Because I want to get those, I'm using the 2 together, and I want to get the lines and all that stuff. Okay. But I've used the conditioner in the final, and it gives it kind of plaster qualities, and it preserves the mud, which is key because I'll get the mold, like colored mud that's been sitting around for 3 months. You'll get mold, and I'll have to sometimes not at all. It's totally fine after 2 years, and I'm not joking, of sitting, because I have all my colors sitting constantly. Yeah. I won't throw it out unless it's moldy. But this conditioner prevents the mud from going moldy. That's kind of cool. So anytime I use Fresco Harmony, that final batch, even if I don't do conditioner on all the coats, on the final batch where I know I'm going to have extra material, I'll dump in 8 ounces of conditioner to preserve that batch. Yeah.
I yesterday I went to CSR and I picked up a bunch of mud skip and all those products too to bring home. And I did grab a bag of heavy for corner bead because I'm supposed to be doing.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to be doing a commercial job at night and at the mall where I'm from, and there's there's 30 sticks of bead I got to do, so I'm gonna put this to the test, right? So
right, because then on a heavy fill, it's probably metal corner bead. So you're getting Trimtex. You're putting it on.
Yeah, I'm putting the bead on myself.
Okay. Well, no offense to Trimtex, but they do use metal bead a lot. But with the metal bead, you have more fill.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you definitely do. I like a glue on, or depends what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll use mud in, like a low profile mud in Trimtex. But
regardless, you're gonna have fill on that corner bead, and you're saying. Yeah. With the heavy mud skip, you got to be in there at night. You could run through and get 2 coats on that metal. That's your point.
Yeah, basically on the bead, right? And
but that's going to be your test.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be my test for it. So
all right,
and then final coat, I'll throw in the conditioner,
right?
And for my skim and with the smooth, and I'm gonna run through this, I think. And I think it's gonna change the game for me too, especially for bead and butt joints. Because those are the two things in drywall finishing that takes the longest to dry. Like you can coat everything else and then you come back the next day and your bead's still wet. Like, you know what I mean? Especially up here in July and August, because that's the humidity. Yeah, you know, and even with dehues, like I've seen bead take like 2 days to dry up here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I think that's going to be a game changer for me, because then I'll be able to have more production.
Okay, so you heard it here. Chris he's going into the mud. Stay tuned to his page. So if they want to follow you on Instagram to see the progress, because I assume, and I'm encouraging you to post video of your results on your page of this corner, specifically the corner bead. Be like, you know, hey, I'm on this night job. I'm going to do this one. All you have to film is one stick. I'm going to do this one stick of corner bead. I got to get 2 coats on tonight. I'm going to do 2 coats, you know, come back, do a video of the second coat, and then the next day, and just film that one stick. Do like a case study.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'll definitely do that. And
and the mud skip people would, you know, they would love to see, you know, they'd love to see those results as well, I'm sure. More will be revealed. I gotta vet a product. Like I'm still researching. You know, it's like, okay, I've tried it. You know, if it works for me, great. I'm like, I will. You know, I will promote it. I have to really work the shit. That sealer that I sell, I used for 6 months before I started selling it.
Yeah.
Like I vetted the shit out of it. It had to be good. It's amazing. Like it's amazing product. So I really have to use something. I'm not just going to tout the wares of some product, especially, you know, it's adding expense to the batch. But if it's saving you an entire day of having to go back to that project and recoat the corner bead, well, then maybe it's worth it. So
yeah, exactly, right. So if it shaves a day off for deadlines, all power to it, right? I'm all about that.
I like this episode. We got away from like Chris's timeline a little bit, but we kind of got the gist. You're certainly a professional drywaller. Like I can't imagine going to the ends that you go to create the amount of smoothness that you create. We talked about working with Jamie and that experience. That's kind of cool. I was going to get into the burnishing and all of that a little bit more, but we touched on that. You guys had fun with Fresco. I'm excited to see what he does with all of that and what you continue to do with Fresco Harmony. You've done a couple jobs. Pearl of Wisdom. What do you got?
Pearl of Wisdom.
Yeah. If you could bestow on the drywall community a pearl of wisdom or put something on a billboard, what would you offer to your drywall and human community, as it were, having the social bent that you do?
That's a really good question, actually. I don't know. I just believe in being a good human.
Okay.
You know, and just be true and loyal. And we know this industry can be shifty, you know. And I just like to say, like, be true and loyal to your people, man. You know.
Yeah.
And that's a really good question, actually.
Yeah. Principles before personalities.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so just be honest, and also honestly, just be honest with yourself, and just push yourself to the limits that you can, you know, every day, and I incorporate that into my work, right? So
I had to write something down there really quick. Yeah, of course you do, man. You seem like a really great guy. I can't imagine how beautiful your work looks. We will continue to stay in touch. This was a good episode. I like getting into the conversation about finishing. It's kind of cool. I feel like we learned a little bit about painting. At least I did. I'm always bad mouthing paint, but I like it when, somebody that does drywall and paint gets on here. You're like, oh, you're opening up my world to the fact that like, oh, there's a lot that goes into paint if you're going to do it properly. You're not just splashing paint onto a wall.
Yeah, like, and keeping another good thing with paint too is keeping your environment like clean too, right? The best as you can, and like I even run a HEPA filter in my environment so that it sucks all the dust out of the air, right? And put positive or negative air or whatever into the place, right?
That's with anything though. I've had this conversation before because I'm kind of a clean finisher, and I like a clean mixing area, and I keep my buckets together, and I have two pieces of, I get those carpet squares from like, I work in an office. I'm always finding carpet squares. I collect the shit out of those things, but I'll put, 4 carpet squares down and tape them all together for my mixing area under a tarp. And then even after that, I'm not slopping water all over the place. You go on these drywall sites, there's mud boxes everywhere with bags laying. I turn my boxes inside out and I use them as garbage cans. Or if I'm not doing that, I'll put the bag into the box and then I break down the boxes. Like, I'm super anal about that cleanliness. I don't want shit all over the place.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, like, clean up, like straighten up everything so that or mix another batch so that when you get back the next day, it's like shit's ready to go. Like,
yeah, just a quick whip and off you go, right?
I'm very much that way with Fresco, and I'm like timing myself too. So like everything that I do is very, very strategic when I'm finished.
Yeah, we have the same mind. So
yesterday I mixed up 2 batches and I finished that wall so it would be ready to second coat today, and that saved me an entire day. I spent an extra half an hour on the job and just finished this section because I knew strategically I'd need to second coat. Those types of things, like, will shave off tons of time. People are like, well, it's 3:00, it's time to go, and it's like, dude, why didn't you just finish the wall? But not everybody thinks that way.
Nope.
Yeah. But I think that goes back to cleanliness. That's what I was going to say. I think that's a trait of cleanliness, is that sort of efficiencies around the job site.
Yeah, exactly.
Dig it.
Yeah, no, it's been a great episode. Really appreciate you getting me on here.
Yeah, of course, man.
This type of things isn't like me really, and I'm kind of like opening up the shell a bit to do this stuff. And
you seem like kind of a quiet guy. I was like, what are we going to talk about? You seem shy when we met and stuff. You're kind of quiet, and but this is good.
That's who I am, and I I used to do promoting and music tours and all that stuff, and I did the whole social media thing.
Oh, okay.
So now that's kind of why I'm like this now. It's just I just kind of and just sit back and just kind of enjoy and watch, right? So
smart. Yeah. And you probably love going up and working with Jamie. That's probably been a lot of fun.
It's been fun.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Like I was even thinking about creating like the CG Drywall and Paints Roadshow and just like be
Why
like,
not?
Hey, anybody in Ontario want to do some collabing and stuff? I'm all game for it. So
you could do that and set up a calendar and like just go from one place to the next. I mean, if it allowed with like your kids and stuff too, I would like to do a training, with Fresco and do the same thing and just go from town to town and do trainings. Like, I think that would be really fun. It's hard with the kid though. It's like, I can't leave for a month and just go on the road,
Yeah. And I totally get that.
That's hard. It's hard, but I love the idea. I love the idea though.
Yeah, definitely, man. So
Chris Gossel, Haley Berry.
Yeah.
Ontario, CG Drywall and Paints. What's your Instagram handle once again for our listeners?
Okay, so it's CG Drywall, N as in Newman, and Paints. Yeah.
CG Drywall and Paints.
Yeah.
And do you have any other, are you on like YouTube or Facebook or anything like that?
I'm on Facebook. Look
Okay.
up CG Drywall and Paints.
Okay.
And yeah, actually, Mudskip put me on YouTube. So that's the first time I've ever been on YouTube. So.
Got a little cameo on YouTube, but you don't have a YouTube page.
No, I don't.
No.
I want to. It just we're not just quite there yet. We will get there, but soon enough.
I don't know. Maybe that corner bead video would be a good introduction into YouTube. Corner bead and Mudskip, and then tag those guys. They can tag you or whatever.
Yeah.
What about a web? You don't have a website.
No, I did have a website. I actually took it down. I've been in the background working on it slowly and make it more like interactive and all that kind of stuff. So, and once I want to get it finished, hopefully by fall time, and I'll probably launch it, and then I'll put it all on through the social media links and
there you go,
and the description and stuff.
It's not as valuable for drywall, maybe more for painting or like Fresco Harmony specialty finishes, because then you could put your work and be like, hey man, we do all this. Check out these, and I'd have those like specialty finishes right at the front of the page. Be like, if you're looking for, with the taglines, of Venetia Plaster, Fresco Harmony, like all that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was leaning more towards too, is like everyone knows that I can do all this other stuff, but I want to start really pushing the fine finishing too. So that's what, with that, the interactive, more like that way it would be
it's more fun,
right?
It's more fun, right?
Yeah. This week I'm supposed to start. I'm just waiting for framing to be done and I'm gonna go board and tape. I haven't done really much. I've been doing whole other type of stuff too, and I was at a project like 100-some-year-old train station that we're retrofitting into an event center and stuff. And I was doing like everything, but now this is like I'm getting back to my trade and I'm excited. So yeah, you'll see some posting and stuff like that. So good.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the Drywall Podcast today. Yeah. We will be in touch soon. I hope you have an amazing Saturday, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. You too, man.
Bye. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.
Huge shout out to Chris for being on the Drywall Podcast today. What a great episode. Who knew that somebody could be so amazing at finishing? Well, you know now because you just heard that amazing story. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you again in the near future very soon. I'd like to give a big, warm Drywall Podcast shout out to AMES Taping Tools for sponsoring the month of June on the Drywall Podcast. This month we happen to be highlighting the fact that they rent automatic taping tools. You heard me correct. You can rent tools. If you're curious about trying out the tools, maybe you don't want to buy a set, you can rent them with the largest ATF tool rental network in the U.S. There is an AMES store nearby you that is ready to get you rolling. Plus, they offer tool training. Whether you want a quick overview or an in-depth support, they'll make sure that you're confident with every tool that you rent. Visit shopamestools.com or stop by your nearest AMES location to learn more. AMES Tools, work smarter, finish faster, and save monies with AMES Tool Rental. Thank you so much for joining the Drywall Podcast today. I really appreciate it. You guys keep listening. I will keep creating content. Join me next Friday as we have Brad McKinnon of Brad McKinnon Plastering out of Tauranga. It's hard to say. Tauranga, New Zealand. He is our second New Zealander next to Alice Brooking so long ago. It's a great episode. He travels all over the world. Tune in for that one. But until then, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend or week or whatever. And remember, keep drywalling.